During the 2016 presidential campaign, InfoWars pointed out time and time again that George Soros wasn't just giving hundreds of millions of dollars to Hillary Clinton and the Democrats, along with Michael Bloomberg, but they were also giving money to the Republican Party and other Republican Party candidates to beat Donald Trump. So was Goldman Sachs, so was JP Morgan. And DrudgeReport.com ran articles from Breitbart and True Pundit yesterday that show the Federal Election Commission numbers. What did Trump get from Goldman Sachs? Zero. What did Trump get from George Soros? Zero. What did Trump get from other big mega banks like JP Morgan? Zero. He did appoint 3 people from Goldman Sachs out of thousands of employees they have because they were anti-globalist and knew where the bodies were buried. And that's why they're panicking. George Soros, the Nazi collaborator. George Soros, who's trying to crash the dollar and has Bloomberg and others promoting an implosion of the dollar right now, is desperately failing. He has naked shorted the dollar and the U.S. stock market. That came out a few weeks ago. And he doesn't know what to do. Let's look at some of these articles. Backstabbers. Paul Ryan, John McCain, Marco Rubio, Jeb Bush took campaign cash from Soros. Here it is right here. Read it for yourself. Also, Breitbart has the story. And again, people are saying, okay, we already knew this. But again, let's point out now that all the federal elections numbers are in, even worse than last year, now that all the numbers are in, it is way, way bigger than we even thought. Just look at this photo of last year. George Soros and John McCain, both men funding the Arab Spring, both men funding ISIS, both men funding the jihad of Saudi Arabia, both men desperate to stop Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is ending Glass-Steagall, letting banks rip you off. Donald Trump is ordering big banks to make loans to small businesses. Donald Trump is defending our borders. Donald Trump is setting up trade deals that aren't one-sided. Donald Trump is getting billions and billions, hundreds of billions of jobs to come back to the U.S. The stock market's exploding because America is open for business again, not being sold out by globalists for their power. And Brexit's happening, and all these other countries are pulling out of the corporate world government. We are beginning to see the beginning of the end of globalism. It's authoritarian, it's unelected, but it controls the media, and it sold itself as trendy and cool. I get sent clips from NPR and CNN saying I'm a white supremacist. They never show a clip of me saying I'm a white supremacist. They never show a clip of me saying something racist. They just say it. They say I'm a Russian agent. They say Trump's a Russian agent because we don't want war with Russia, because we don't want an Arab Spring running all over Europe. They're desperate. They're out of ammo. The good news is this old, evil Nazi collaborator, this true James Bond villain, is being defeated on every front. There are demonstrations all over Europe against him and against his backers and against his controllers. This is a great time to be alive. Meanwhile, overwhelming evidence proves Trump right about massive voter election fraud organized by George Soros. Dr. Jerome Corsi, Infowars.com. And here's another one. Top Clinton lawyer joins Soros super PAC to stop voter ID, openly trying to get it where states let illegals vote. But then they come out and say, Trump's wrong about illegals voting, even as they get caught doing it. Trump's wrong about the media underreporting Islamic terror when it's come out that FBI and other people have been ordered not to even call it Islamic terror when it is terror. Everybody knows they whitewash crime statistics and Islamic terror. All over Europe, police are coming out saying they've been ordered to do this. So again, Trump trolled them in saying they're not reporting on Islamic terror, so they'd be forced to actually cover it. We're as smart as these parasites. We're smarter. We just don't think like them underhanded. And now that we're taking action against them, not with corruption, but with truth, we are kicking their asses up and down the street. More coming tonight, 7 o'clock Central, InfoWars Nightly News, and tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with the weekday big show, Infowars.com/show. Subscribe to the free podcast. Spread the links, the videos. They're trying to censor us big time, but it's blowing up in their face. I was just on Joe Rogan last week. He's been on air 8 years. Movie star, TV star, UFC host. It broke all records in 1 week, all his other podcasts, and is set to triple his previous records because InfoWars and the truth is popular. We got Paul Watson. We got Matt Drudge. We got Milo. We got Donald Trump. We've got people like Pence. We've got the rock stars in the fight for liberty worldwide. And we've got the Russian people, the Italian people, the people in Brazil, and people all over the world waking up, wanting sovereignty and wanting to promote our cultures of freedom and wanting true open societies, not fake open societies that George Soros wants to run, where he plays countries off against each other. I'm Alex Jones. There's a global revolution happening against tyranny, and you are the front line. Thousands of years ago, there was a basic form of chivalry. Our ancestors would hear the drums of war, giving the warriors of the tribe a chance to organize and prepare a defense. 60 years ago, when foreign air forces were approaching filled with bombs, they had drums of their own, air raid sirens. But in the 21st century, there are silent weapons for quiet war. Pathogens added to the food and water, and to the lining of plastics that destroy our vitality, turn off our hormones, and accelerate our journey towards death. I personally counter this onslaught with Anthroplex. Anthroplex is designed with known organic concentrated herbs to create the basic foundation to normal metabolic activity inside the human body. Discover why Anthroplex is turning so many heads today. It's time for us to take our bodies back into our own hands, and it starts at InfoWarsLife.com with Anthroplex.